Atma, namaste. Meeting yourself with grace. In doing so, I would say good morning, beautiful being. I want us to take a slow, nourishing breath in together, settling into the space as we gently release it. I want to talk about meeting yourself with grace. It's a practice of responding to yourself with the same compassion, the same patience, the same understanding that you would naturally offer someone you deeply cared or loved for. It's choosing kindness over criticism, curiosity over judgment, and acceptance over shame. What it doesn't mean is excusing harmful behavior or avoiding responsibility. It means acknowledging your humanity while remaining committed to growth. Not making excuses. So imagine that you've made a mistake and your inner critic might say, I always mess things up. I never get this right. And Grace responds differently. That hurt. I wish I'd done that differently. And what can I learn from this? I'm still worthy of love and respect. See, grace changes the relationship that we have with ourselves, changes the relationship that you have with yourself. Meeting yourself with grace means you accept where you're at. Knowing you're exactly where you're meant to be, not because you want to stay there, but because you can't truly move forward by rejecting the person you are today. Think about that. You can't reject the person that you are today. You honor your capacity, and some days you have endless energy, and other days you feel like you're simply surviving. Grace recognizes that both are part of being human. That's beautiful. Grace is speaking gently to yourself. Your nervous system hears every word you say about yourself, whether it's out loud or it's internal. And gentle words create safety, and safety creates healing. This one is difficult for me. Allowing emotions without becoming them. So Grace says, it's okay that I'm grieving. It's okay that I'm scared. And it's okay that I'm disappointed. Think of these feelings as visitors, not your identity. Have you ever heard of reacting with emotion? That's making the emotion your identity. Allow them to be visitors. We can celebrate progress instead of perfection, and growth isn't measured by never falling. It's measured by how lovingly you stand back up. We're encouraged to make mistakes. That's how we learn. Imperfectly perfect, if you will. And spiritually, meeting yourself with grace is remembering that your worth has never been earned because it's always existed. Your worth has never been earned because it's always existed. And there's many spiritual traditions teach that we're already whole beneath our fears, right? That conditioning and the wounds that we carry. And grace is returning to that truth again and again. It's coming home to yourself. It's the quiet voice that whispers, you don't have to prove you're enough today. You don't have to prove you're enough ever. And you don't have to have all the answers. You are still loved while you are learning. In fact, that's when you're the most loved. It's exciting to learn. In my life, as we've shared Morning Whispers, I sit in front of you. I sit in front of this video and invite myself into your space and invite you into my space. Behind that, I myself navigate a great deal from healing injuries to believing in myself and believing in my purpose, through job changes, through building Whispering Oasis, through moving through uncertainty in relationships with partners, families, friends, and continuing in recovery. I struggle at times. I'm struggling now. And meeting myself with grace might sound like I'm healing. And healing takes time. I don't need to rush my heart into knowing what comes next. I just need to trust and be open. And I can hold boundaries without believing I'm unlovable. That's huge because I've felt unlovable my whole entire life, even by myself. That's tough. And I am becoming, not failing. I'm not a failure. Keep putting one foot right in front of the next. And through that, grace isn't asking me to ignore my pain. It's asking me not to abandon myself while I'm going through it, right? The emotions are the visitors. They don't define me. I would invite you to take another deep breath in and exhale it gently. Place one hand over your heart and one over your belly. Take another slow breath in, and as you exhale, imagine that every place inside you that feels tight or ashamed or exhausted is softening just a little. Silently repeat, may I meet myself with grace. May I release the need to be perfect. May I honor where I am while trusting where I'm going. May I remember that I am worthy of love even in my unfinished places. Let's rest in the quiet for a few breaths. What thoughts came to you during that time? You don't need to fix yourself. Your only job is to have grace with yourself, and perhaps the deepest truth of meeting yourself with grace is this. It is choosing, moment by moment, not to become another source of suffering for yourself, not to beat yourself up. Instead, you become a steady, compassionate presence within your own life. The kind of presence that says, whatever this day brings, I will not leave my own side. I would invite you to close your eyes. And imagine meeting yourself as you would meet a dear friend. Not with criticism, not with impossible expectations, but with warmth. With patience. With understanding. And softly whisper to yourself, you don't have to have it all figured out today. And notice how your body responds. Grace creates space for healing. And I would invite you to bring gratitude for your beautifully human heart. And in your mind's eye and in your heart space, hold, I meet myself with grace. Healing unfolds gently. I am worthy of compassion, and offer yourself kindness today. Offer yourself love. I send compassion and love to you today. There's a little confusion that I feel, and I would send clarity in not doubting the answer that comes through. It's not an answer that you desire, but it's necessary for you to move into a space of what you are truly looking for. Lay down your fear. You are held by Mother, by nature, by the trees, by the birds, by the wind, by the sun. Until next time, Atma Namaste.